Hello everyone, welcome to Prasad's Coaching Center for Banking, SSC and CDS Bangalore. So this is current affairs session which is very important for upcoming examinations. So in this particular session we are going to discuss very important weekly current affairs. So we are discussing first week current affairs of August month. So let's move on to the first point now. So here if you observe, India and the European Union exchanged the note verbal. So this point you have to remember, note verbal. So these two particular countries, that is India and European Union, exchanged the note verbal to renew its agreement on scientific and technological cooperation for the purpose for the next 5 years. So this was expired on May 17th, 2020. So again they are extending for another 5 years. So this decision was taken by both the nations during 15th India European Union Summit. So this point you have to remember, and here we have static GK. We have to remember this point. European Union headquarters is in Brussels, Belgium, and the president is David Maria Sassoli. Let's move to the next point now. So here TriFed signed MOU with IIT Delhi and VIBHA under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan of Minister of Human Resource and Development. Here what is TriFed? It is Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation of India. And why this MOU was done? This was done to increase the opportunities for better livelihood and income generation for the tribals. And here if you observe, TriFed head office is in Delhi, MD is Pravir Krishna, and it works under MOTA. MOTA is Minister of Tribal Affairs, and Minister of Tribal Affairs Union Minister is Arjun Munda, and the Minister of State who is responsible for the Tribal Affairs is Renuka Singh. Let's move to the next point now. So here if you observe, 14th Joint Economic and Trade Committee meeting 2020 is held virtually due to COVID-19 between India and the UK. So from Indian side, the Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal attended this meeting, and from UK, Secretary of State for the International Trade, that is Elizabeth Mary, attended this particular meeting. And this was the 14th Joint Economic and Trade Committee meeting. UK capital is London, currency is pound sterling, PM is Alexander Boris. And moving towards the next point now. So, Air Force Commanders Conference. So, this was inaugurated by Rajnath Singh at the Air Headquarters, Delhi. So, the theme of the conference is very important. The theme of the conference is IAF in the next decade. IAF in the next decade. What is IAF? Indian Air Force. And who is the Chief of Air Staff? Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhaduria. So, moving towards the next point now. Harshavardhan participated virtually in SCO Health Ministers Digital Meeting, which was chaired by Mikhail Murashko. So, here what is the full form of SCO? SCO is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and here Harshavardhan is the minister who is responsible for HRD, and it is chaired by Mikhail Murashko. Who is this person? He is the Minister of Health of Russian Federation. And here SCO headquarters is in Beijing, China, and the Secretary General is Vladimir Norov. Moving towards the next point now. And here, according to the report title, so this is the name of the title, you have to remember, Child Care in the Global Crisis, the Impact of COVID-19 on Work and Family Life. So this is the title name, and this title is announced or given by UNICEF. This is very important. So according to this report, 22 million children from South Asia missed out on early childhood education. So your question will be something like, according to which report or according to which organization 22 million children from South Asia missed out on early childhood education? And your answer should be this particular title and UNICEF organization. And here if you observe, UNICEF headquarters is in New York, USA. Executive Director is Henrietta Holzman Ford. And the next point now. So, Bank of Maharashtra and Unichem join hands to secure its internet banking in India on mobile and call centers and ATMs, etc. And this is particularly for the OMNI Channel security. So what bank will do is it will use Unichem's REL ID. So this point you have to remember, REL ID. So what bank will do is it will use Unichem's REL ID technology for the security of its online banking app. Its online banking app means Bank of Maharashtra's online banking app, Maha Secure. So this is the online banking app of Bank of Maharashtra. So this is the main reason behind this MOU. So here you have to remember Bank of Maharashtra headquarters is in Pune and CEO is A.S. Rajiv. Unichem's headquarters is in New Jersey, USA, and CEO is Bimal Gandhi. So let's move towards the next point now. So here if you observe in this particular picture, he is Mahathir Mohamad Gulait. So who is he? So he was Somalia's deputy prime minister, but now he is appointed as interim prime minister. So your question will be something like, which country's deputy prime minister is recently appointed as interim prime minister? And your answer should be Somalia's. And this particular person's name is also very important. And here Somalia's capital is Mogadishu, currency is a Somali shilling, president is Mohamed Abdullahi. And moving towards the next point now, and if you just observe the picture what we have here, he is Hichem Mechichi, and he is like Tunisia's interior minister who is now appointed as new prime minister. Don't get confused with the previous point and now this point. So here if you observe, Somalia's deputy PM, that is Mahathir Mohamad Gulait, is appointed as interim prime minister, and here Tunisia's interior minister Hichem Mechichi is appointed as this country's new prime minister. So Tunisia's currency is the Tunisian dinar and capital is Tunis. And the next point now. So here if you observe, Croatian Parliament approved the new government led by PM Andrej Plenkovic after election. So this is very simple. This particular person, and his name is Andrej Plenkovic, and he is appointed as new prime minister of Croatian country. So Croatia capital is Zagreb and currency is Croatian kuna. So this is the static GK you have to remember. So let's move towards the next point now. And here Zutyan 3, this is the name of the new high resolution mapping satellite. So this was launched by China into space through Long March 4B carrier rocket. So this rocket name is very important, Long March 4B carrier rocket. And from where it's been launched? So it's been launched from Shaanxi Center. And here China capital is Beijing, currency is renminbi, president is Xi Jinping. So next point now. So government of India funded 10 broad gauge locomotives handed over to Bangladesh by Indian Railways in a virtual. So this point you have to remember. So government of India handed over 10 broad gauge locomotives to Bangladesh, and what will be the helpful for the Bangladesh? So it will help in handling large number of passengers in the Bangladesh using this. And Bangladesh capital is Dhaka, currency is Bangladeshi Taka, president is Mohammad Abdul Hamid. So moving towards the next point now. So to boost the manufacturing and bulk drugs and medical devices parks in India, Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers, that is Sadananda Gowda, launched guidelines for 4 schemes to boost domestic manufacturing of bulk drugs and the medical devices parks in India. So this is the person, he is Sadananda Gowda, and he is the minister who is responsible for the chemicals and fertilizers. Let's move towards the next point now. So moving towards the next point now. So here if you observe, to convert the area of ravines in the region of Gwalior Chambal belt of Madhya Pradesh into cultivable land, the central government collaborated with the World Bank. So this is very important, like to convert the area of ravines in the region of Gwalior Chambal belt of Madhya Pradesh into cultivable land, central government collaborated with which bank? And your answer should be World Bank. And the World Bank president is David Robert Malpass. Headquarters is in Washington DC, United States, and motto is working for a world free of poverty. Moving towards the next point now. So here if you observe, July 26th is observed as International Day for the Conservation of Mangrove Ecosystems 2020. So this day was adopted by whom? This day was adopted by UNESCO. This is very important point. So next news now. So here July 28th is observed as World Nature Conservation Day 2020. So this date is very important. So July 28th is observed as World Nature Conservation Day. So next news is, so July 28th is again observed as World Hepatitis Day 2020, and the theme is very important. What is the theme for the year 2020? So the theme for the year is hepatitis free future. Hepatitis free future. So this is the theme for the year 2020. You have to remember. So this day is celebrated on July 28th. So heading towards the next point now. So here if you observe Ram Vilas Paswani. Who is Ram Vilas Paswani? He is the Union Minister who is responsible for the Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and he launched BizCare. So this is the name of the app to check the authenticity of ISI and Hallmark quality certified products. Your question will be something like, what is the name of the app which was launched to check the authenticity of ISI and Hallmark quality certified products? So your answer should be BizCare. So this is the name of the app. This is very important. And if you just observe the picture what we have here, this has been launched by Ram Vilas Paswan, who is the minister responsible for the Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. And here we have Pata Chal Jayega, Saman Asli hai ya nakli. So let's move towards the next point now. So he is Naveen Tahiliani, and he is now appointed as MD and CEO of Tata AIA Life Insurance Company. So who is the CEO or the MD of the Tata AIA Life Insurance Company? And your answer should be Naveen Tahiliani, and this headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So let's move on to the next point now. So she is ARCHANA SORENG. She is the Indian climate activist, and she becomes a member of Antonio Guterres' new youth advisory group on climate change. So let's move towards the next point now. So here if you observe, he is ANIL Kumar JHA, who is in the picture, and he is the former chairman of Coal India Ltd, and he now appointed as the member of Expert Appraisal Committee, that is EAC, to deal with the violation of environmental rules. So this particular person's name is very important. He was serving as the chairman of the Coal India Ltd, but now he is appointed as the member of Expert Appraisal Committee, which deals with the violation of environment rules. And moving towards the next point now. IOC and France Total SA formed 50-50 joint venture. So this will become a very important point, because this is formed as a 50-50 joint venture to make a superior quality bitumen. So here these two particular companies' name you have to remember, and then why it is done. To manufacture high quality bitumen. And if you just observe the strategic what we have here, Total SA company, this is the France company, and this headquarters is in Paris, France. Chairman A and the CEO is Patrick Poyani, and IOC headquarters is in Delhi. Chairman A is Shrikant Madhav Vaidya. And the next point now. So here SBI provided $16.20 million liquidity support for the local business in the Maldives as COVID-19 relief. So So if you observe the static GK, what we have here, Maldives capital is Male, currency is Maldivian rupiah, president is Ibrahim Mohammed Soli, and the SBI headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Chairman is Rajneesh Kumar. Digital banking platform, this is very important, that is YONO, and the tagline of this particular bank is the banker to every Indian. So this particular amount is very important. So India, that is the SBI bank, is providing $16.20 million liquidity support for the local business in Maldives as a COVID relief. So moving towards the next point now. So here the campaign called Bahut Zaruri Hai. So this is the name of the campaign, and the name of the campaign is very important, and this is launched for the farmers, and it is been launched by Bharati AXA General Insurance Company. So Bharati AXA General Insurance Company headquarters is in Mumbai, and CEO and MD is Sanjeev Srinivasan. So the next point now, and IRCTC and SBI card launched a co-branded contactless credit card. So this point you have to remember. So this is the contactless credit card. This is launched by IRCTC and SBI card on RuPay platform. So IRCTC headquarters is in New Delhi, India, and the chairman and MD is Mahendra Pratap Mal. SBI card headquarters is in Gurgaon, Haryana. MD and CEO is Ashwini Kumar Tiwari. So IRCTC, what is the full form of IRCTC? It is Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation Limited. So next point now, GAIL and CCSL signs MOU to partner in compressed biogas projects in India. And your answer should be like, which two companies signed MOU to compress biogas projects in India? And your answer should be GAIL and CCSL. What is CCSL? Carbon Clean Solutions Limited, and this headquarters is in London, UK. And GAIL India Limited, this is the company, head office is in Delhi, and chairman and MD is Manoj Jain. Manoj Jain is the chairman and MD of GAIL India Limited. And the next point now, according to the report titled, so this is the name of the report, Implications of AI. What is AI? Artificial Intelligence on the Indian Economy, which is given by NASSCOM along with ICRIER and Google. So this report is given by NASSCOM along with ICRIER and Google. India's GDP boost to 2.5% of artificial intelligence. And here NASSCOM is National Association of Software and Services Companies, and ICRIER is Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relations. So moving towards the next point now. So this is the name of the contest. So this contest name you have to remember, Dare to Dream 2.0. So this is the name of the contest for the innovators and the startups, which is launched by DRDO. DRDO headquarters is in Delhi, and chairman is Satish Reddy. And moving towards the next point now, and here Bombay Flying Club, and if you just observe the picture what we have here, so this is the logo of Bombay Flying Club, and this is there since 1928. So this is the Mumbai based club, and this becomes the India's first DGCA approved drone training school. So this is the drone training school which has been got approved by DGCA. What is DGCA? It is the Director General of Civil Aviation. So moving towards the next point now. Guwahati became the first city in the northeast region to get the manhole cleaning robot called Bandicoot. So this is the name of the robot, and if you just observe the picture what we have here, so this is the robot, and the robot name is Bandicoot. So this will become Guwahati will become a first city in the northeast region to get this particular robot called Bandicoot. good. So this is the name of the robot you have to remember. So World In Vitro Fertilization Day 2020 is celebrated on July 25th. So this day is celebrated on July 25th in 1958. And why this is being celebrated? To witness the birth of world's first test tube baby, Lewis Brown. So this name you have to remember for the extra knowledge for yourself. So this is the baby name Lewis Brown, born in UK, and your question will be something like who is the world's first test tube baby? So Lewis Brown, and Lewis Brown is from UK and she born in 1958. So World In Vitro Fertilization Day was first celebrated in 1958 to witness the birth of this particular baby, Lewis Brown. So she is the first test tube baby who is born in UK. So moving towards the next point now. International Tiger Day is observed annually on 29th July. So the theme of the year you have to remember. So the theme for the year 18, 19, 20, that is the 2018, 2019 and 2020 is the same. The theme you have to remember. Their survival is in our hands. Their survival is in our hands is the theme for 18, 19 and 20. If the question is something like what is the theme for the, like for the year 2018 or which was celebrated as the International Tiger Day, don't get confused like, okay, this year theme was like, like this, their survival is in our hands. But 18 and 19, what might be the theme? Don't confuse. 18, 19, 20, all 3 years, theme is same. Moving towards the next point now. A debut novel. So this is the name of the novel, Burnt Sugar, which is authored by AVNI DOSHI. And if you just observe the picture what we have here, she is the very famous author. AVNI DOSHI is now author for the novel Burnt Sugar. So this is being published in UK Kingdom and it was one among the 13 authors longlisted for the prestigious 2020 Booker Prize. So that will, and it's been who is the author of this particular novel is very important. Moving towards the next point now. So she is the veteran Bollywood actor and her name is Kumkum. So the name you have to remember, and she passed away recently in Mumbai at the age of 86. So next news now. CSIR CSIO along with AMESYS India developed a microorganism decontamination box named Suraksha. So Suraksha is the name of the microorganism decontamination box which was developed by CSIR CSIO along with AMESYS India. So this is the contamination box. If you just observe in the picture, so CSIO full form is the Central Scientific Instruments Organization and this headquarters is in Chandigarh. So next news is, so he is N. Sivaraman and he is now appointed as MD and Group CEO of ICRA Limited. What is ICRA? ICRA is Information and Credit Rating Agency. So this full form is very important and this headquarters is in Gurugram, Haryana and the non-executive chairman and the director is Arjun Dugal. So this is the static GK you have to remember. So moving towards the next point now. So ADB, that is the Asian Development Bank, approves $3 million. $3 million is approved by Asian Development Bank to India to support COVID-19 response. So this is a very important news you have to remember. So ADB is approved how much amount to India to support COVID-19 response, and your answer should be $3 million. So here ADB chairperson is Hong Nam Ki and the president is Masatsuko Esakawa. Headquarters is in Manila, Philippines. And moving towards the next point. This is a 300-year-old temple in Bangladesh and this temple name is SREE Joy Kali Matar temple. So the name of the temple you have to remember, and this is a 300-year-old temple and reconstructed with the Indian support in Natur, Bangladesh. So Bangladesh capital is Dhaka, currency is Taka, PM is Sheikh Hasina, president is Muhammad Abdul Hamid. So next news is Maldives launched 9 development projects under $5.6 million Indian grant for HICDP. So what is HICDP? High Impact Community Development Projects. So this country name you have to remember. Maldives capital is Male, currency is Maldivian Rupiah, president is Ibrahim Mohammed Soni. Moving towards the next point now. The 5th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of AIIB. What is the full form of AIIB? It is the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, was held virtually from Beijing, China on the theme Connecting for Tomorrow. So this is very important point, and you have to remember Nirmala Sitharaman, who is the Union Minister of Finance, was the main speaker in this session, and the question will be something like who was the main speaker in the meeting which was the 5th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of AIIB, and your answer should be Nirmala Sitharaman, who is the Union Minister responsible for the finance. So AIIB initiated in the year 2016 and its headquarters is in Beijing, China. Moving towards the next point now. Green agriculture, that is Green AG, is a project. So this is the name of the project you have to remember, and this is funded by Global Environment Facility. This is launched in Mizoram, India. So GEF, what is GEF? Global Environment Facility. CEO and chairperson is Dr. Noaka Ishii. Trustee is the World Bank. Headquarters is in Washington, DC. Moving towards the next point now. Chhattisgarh'S Bijapur. So this particular state name you have to remember. Chhattisgarh'S Bijapur tops NITI AAYOG'S Delta ranking of aspirational districts for the February to June 2020. So which state tops in NITI AAYOG'S Delta ranking of aspirational districts? Your answer should be Chhattisgarh'S Bijapur. Moving towards the next point now. So here if you observe, to cherish the bond of friendship which helps to develop love and peace among the people, United Nations celebrated International Day of Friendship, which was observed on July 30th. So July 30th is observed as International Day of Friendship. Moving towards the next point now. So here World Day Against Trafficking in Persons is celebrated on July 30th. So July 30th is observed as International Friendship Day, and this is also observed as World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. So the theme of the year is very important. As per UNODC, the theme is committed to the cause, working on the front line to end human trafficking. So the theme is very important. So it was first celebrated in the year 2013. So this point you have to remember. When this day was first celebrated, it was first celebrated in the year 2013. So the theme for the year is given by whom? So the theme for the year is given by UNODC. What is the full form of UNODC? United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. So UNGC President is Tijani Mohammed Bande. Headquarters is in New York, US. And United Nations on Drugs and Crime, Director General is Kada Fatiwali. Headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. Moving towards the next point now. So if you just observe the picture what we have here, he is Rajat Bhatia. So who is he? He is the Indian domestic player, and he announces retirement from all forms of cricket. So the name of the person is very important. So moving towards the next point now. England won the final Wisden Trophy against West Indies by 2-1. So the winners here is England. So the final Wisden Trophy is won by England. So it was a match between England and West Indies, and finally England took the trophy. So here if you observe, this trophy will be displayed at museums at Lord's. So this point you have to remember, and this will be replaced by Richards Botham Trophy. So this point you have to remember, and here England capital is London and currency is Euro. This is the strategic you have to remember. Heading towards the next point now. So Indian Grandmaster that is P. Hari Krishna, finishes second in Grandmaster Triathlon Tournament at BAIL Chess Festival 2020. So this you have to remember. He secured the second position in which tournament? It was a Grandmaster Triathlon Tournament which was held at BAIL Chess Festival 2020. So this particular name you have to remember, and he is P. Hari Krishna, who is Indian Grandmaster, and he secured second place in this particular tournament. And the next point now. Iran launched the underground ballistic missiles during Great Prophet 14 military exercise. So during this military exercise, Iran launched underground ballistic missiles during this particular military exercise. And you have to remember, Iran's capital is Tehran, currency is Iranian Rial. So this is how you have to study the static GK. While studying the current affairs itself, you have to go through the static GK so that you can remember it in a better way. So moving towards the next point now. The Defense Institute of Advanced Technology has developed ARCHANA. So this is the name of the system. So this is the medical bed isolation system to fight against COVID-19 pandemic by controlling the spread of infection which is released by the patient. So your question will be something like, what is the name of the system which was developed to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic by controlling the spread of infection which is released by the patient? And the system name is ARCHANA, and this is being developed by whom? Defense Institute of Advanced Technology. So heading towards the next point now. So this is Aditya. If you just observe the picture what we have here, so this is the name of the ship. So this is the India's first solar powered ferry. Okay, the name is very important, and this particular Aditya won the first GUSTAVE Electric Boat Awards. So the name of the award you have to remember. So this receives the first GUSTAVE Electric Boat Awards, and this award is officially known as GUSTAVE TROUVÉ Award. So the name of the boat you have to remember, and the name of the award is also very important over here. So moving towards the next point now. So here BOB, that is the Bank of Baroda Financial Solutions Limited, has chosen FinServe company for the digital transformation. Why BOB has chosen this? To enable the digitization of card issuance and also to support the launch of new contactless credit card. So what BOB will do is BOB will utilize FinServe's First Vision TM. So this point you have to remember, First Vision TM. So BOB will use FinServe's First Vision TM for the support of launching new contactless credit cards and also for the card issuance. So here you have to remember, FinServe's headquarters is in Brookfield, US, and Executive Director is Jeffrey Yabuki, and the BOB is here. MD and CEO of Bank of Baroda is Manish Banerjee. Moving towards the next point now. So Modi approved the first educational policy of 21st century, that is the National Education Policy NEP 2020. So this will replace 34-year-old NEP 1986. So this was announced by the Prakash Javadekar, who is the Union Minister responsible for the information and broadcasting. So one more point you have to remember here, the HRD Minister, that is the Human Resource Development Ministry, will be renamed as the Ministry of Education. So this is the very important point, and if you observe here, Ministry of Human Resource Development has been renamed as the Ministry of Education in India. So from now, HRD Ministry will be called as Ministry of Education. So moving towards the next point now. CSIR, UBA, IIT Delhi and VIBHA signs a tripartite MOU to adopt CSIR's technology for the rural development. So this is the very important news. If you just take, you have to remember one more thing. So this is the second tripartite MOU we are seeing here. So what was the first? So one more news we already saw. So that was one more tripartite MOU which was signed between TriFed, IIT Delhi and VIBHA. Don't get confused. So this is the tripartite MOU which was signed between CSIR, IIT Delhi and VIBHA. So why this is being done? So this is being done to adopt CSIR technologies for the rural development. So CSIR President is Narendra Modi, Vice President is Harshvardhan, Director General is Shekhar C. Mandi, Headquarters is in New Delhi. Heading towards the next point now. So here if you just observe, first 5 of 36 French Rafale fighter jets landed at Haryana's Ambala's airbase. So 59,000, that is the 59k crore worth agreement was signed between India and France in 2016. Why it is been like why the agreement was signed between India and France for this particular amount in 2016? To take 36 Rafale fighter jets from the France, in which first 5 fighter jets was landed in India in Ambala, Haryana on July 29th. And you have to remember, IAF, that is the Indian Air Force headquarters is in Delhi. Chief of Air Staff is Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhaduria. Moving towards the next point. Defense Ministry of India and Indonesia agreed to expand the military ties during Defense Minister dialogue in New Delhi. So, Defense Minister of India, who is Defense Minister of India? Rajnath Singh. Who is the Defense Minister responsible for the Indonesia? That is Prabowo Subianto. And why this is being done? Why this agreement was signed between India and Indonesia? To expand the defense industries and the military ties between these two countries, and also to expand the technology sharing. This has been done. Indonesia capital is Jakarta. Currency is Indonesian rupiah. President is Joko Widodo. Moving towards the next point. Cabinet approves the MOU between Zimbabwe and India, and why this has been done? On traditional system of medicine and homeopathy. Zimbabwe capital is Harare. Currency is US dollar and RTGS dollar. President is Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. So you have to remember, the cabinet approves the MOU which was signed between India and Zimbabwe on the traditional system of medicine and homeopathy. So moving towards the next point now. UNICEF publishes first of its kind report on health crisis, which states that 1 in 3 children poisoned by lead. This point you have to remember. So 1 in 3 children poisoned by lead. So this has been published by which organization? And your answer should be UNICEF. So the report name is very important. Here they did not mention the report name. So the report name is Children's Exposure to Lead Pollution Undermines a Generation of Future Potential. So yes, the thing we have in the picture, what we have. So this is the report which is given by UNICEF. The report name you have to remember. The Toxic Truth. The children's exposure to lead pollution undermines a generation of potential. And UNICEF headquarters is in New York. President is Henrietta Holzman IV. Moving towards the next point now. So Narendra Modi and Pravind Jagannath virtually inaugurated Supreme Court building in Port Louis, Mauritius. Who is Pravind Jagannath over here? He is the Mauritian counterpart. So India granted $30 million to build this. And you have to remember, Mauritius capital is Port Louis and currency is Mauritian rupee. And heading towards the next point. SEBIC in Spain to become the world's first large-scale chemical production plant to completely run on renewable energy. So SEBIC in Spain, you have to remember SEBIC. This is the name of the large-scale chemical production which is to run completely on renewable energy, and this will become the world's first large-scale chemical production plant which will run on completely run on renewable energy. So SEBIC headquarters is in Riyadh, Saudi, and CEO is Yusuf Abdullah Benyan. So this is the static GK you have to remember. Spain capital is Madrid and currency is Euro. Moving towards the next point now. So, World Ranger Day is celebrated annually on July 31st. What is the meaning of the word ranger? Who is this? So, ranger means the person who protects the parks and the natural protected areas like forest, parks, something like that. So, who protects these particular things, the parks, or it might be a forest, or whatever it is, which is the natural protected areas. So the person who protects this is called as a ranger. So this day is celebrated to honor the people who have died in their duties. Moving towards the next point now. So moving towards the next point. He is Lee Teng-hyo. He is the former Taiwan president and he is also dubbed as Mr. Democracy. And he passed away recently. Taiwan capital is Taipei. President is Tsai Ing-wen and the currency is New Taiwan dollar. And the next news now. He is Sonam Chering Lepcha. He is the folk musician and he is the Padma Shri awardee and he died recently in West Bengal at the age of 92. And the next news now. So he is Varun Sridhar. You can just observe in this particular slide the picture what we have. He is Varun Sridhar who is now appointed as new CEO of Paytm Money. So Paytm Money headquarters is in Bangalore. CEO is Varun Sridhar as we discussed over here. So next news now. He is the Urjit Patel who was the former RBI governor. So he is now appointed as the additional and independent director of Great Eastern Shipping Company Limited. So this point you have to remember. He is former RBI governor. His name is Urjit Patel and he is now appointed as the additional and independent director of which company? Great Eastern Shipping Company Limited. And he is Hamd Bekayoko. So he is now appointed as the Prime Minister of what? Which country? He is been appointed as the Prime Minister of Ivory Coast. So he is particularly, so he was serving as the Defense Minister for this particular country and he is now appointed as the Prime Minister of this particular company. Of this particular country. The name of the person you have to remember, Hamid Bekayoko, and the Republic of Ivory Coast capital is Yamoussoukro and the currency is West African CFA franc. Moving towards the next point now. And here if you just observe, the agreement was signed between Reliance Power and JERA. And why it is being done? So it is being done for the new power plant in the Bangladesh. So these two companies, that is the Reliance Power and JERA, signed agreement with many banks for the new power plant in Bangladesh. So next point now. This is the name of the link. So MPayMe. So this is the name of the link you have to remember. So this has been launched by MobiKwik. So this is a UPI payment link service that allows the users to send and receive money from any UPI payment app. MobiKwik headquarters is in Gurugram, Haryana. Founder and CEO and director is Bipinpreet Singh. And the next news now. So here we have the name of the campaign. So the name of the campaign is Kona Kona Humid. So this is the name of the campaign you have to remember. So this is the name of the campaign which is being launched by Kotak Mahindra Bank. So Kotak Mahindra Bank launched 2-month campaign. So this is the 2-month long campaign with offers and discounts. So Kotak Mahindra Bank headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. MD and CEO is Uday Kotak. Tagline is let's make money simple. Moving towards the next point now. So MSME Saksham. So this is the name of the platform. You can just observe here. So this is the name of the platform which is given for the MSMEs. So this is very important and this is being launched by whom? So this is being launched by CDB and CBL part of TransUnion. So this is very important. MSME Saksham is for MSME. This is the name of the financial knowledge platform. This is being launched by CDB and the TransUnion CBL. So these two particular names you have to remember. So it helps the MSME to access the finance and also support them in managing their credit. Moving towards the next point now. Prakash Javadekar. Who is Prakash Javadekar? He is the Union Minister who is responsible for the environment, forest and climate change, represents India in 6th BRICS Environment Ministers meeting. And here the question will be something like, the edition is very important, and who represented India in this particular meeting is very important. So who represented? Prakash Javadekar. So BRICS, what is the full form of BRICS? So if you just observe the picture what we have here, B is for Brazil, R is for Russia, I is for India, C is for China, and S is for South Africa. So this is the full form of BRICS, and this was the 6th edition Environment Ministers meeting. And here we have few things to know about the BRICS. Full form we already saw. So presidency is Russia. So India will assume the presidency of BRICS in 2021. So this is very important point. Sometimes the question will be asked in the examinations. So which country will be assumed as the presidency of BRICS in 2021? And your answer should be India. But now who is handling the presidency of BRICS in 2020? And your answer should be Russia. And the members, as we discussed, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. And it is established in the year 2009, and the theme for the year 2020 is BRICS Partnership for Global Stability, Shared Security and Innovative Growth. So the theme is very important. Moving towards the next point now. Piyush Goyal. Who is Piyush Goyal? He is the Union Minister who is responsible for the commerce and industry. He inaugurates CII National Digital Conference on easing doing business for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So the point is very important. So he launched or he inaugurated a conference on this particular event. So CII President is Uday Kotak. President Designate is TV Narendran. Director General is Chandrajit Banerjee. Headquarters is in New Delhi. Moving towards the next point now. Haryana's Forest Department used drone for the aerial seeding to increase green cover in Aravalis. So this is very important. Question will be something like, which forest department used drone for the aerial seeding to increase the green cover in Aravalis? And your answer should be Haryana. Let's move towards the next point now. So Magnet is the name of the project you have to remember, and this has been approved by which government? Maharashtra government. So this is the project worth 1,000 crore rupees. Why it is being done? To help the farmers, and 70% is funded by ADB. What is ADB? Asian Development Bank. In this particular amount, 70% of the amount is funded by which bank? ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. Moving towards the next point now. So this is the name of the campaign, Ek Mask Anek Zindagi. You have to remember this has been launched by Madhya Pradesh to create awareness among the people. So this is a public awareness campaign which is launched from August 1st to August 15. So this is the 15-day long campaign, and the name of the campaign you have to remember, Ek Mask Anek Zindagi. Moving towards the next point now. Here, August 1st to August 7th is celebrated as World Breastfeeding Week 2020. The theme is very important over here. The theme is Support Breastfeeding for the Healthier Planet. So this day is celebrated around 120 countries in the world to encourage it to improve the health of the babies. So the week is very important, August 1st to August 7th. Moving towards the next point now. He is, if you just observe in this particular picture, he is Matthew McConaughey. So he is the author of the book Green Lights. So Green Light is the debut book which is authored by Oscar-winning actor Matthew McConaughey. Moving towards the next point now. So he is the particular person, his name is Kandaswamy. So this particular person's name is very important, and he is Sahitya Academy awardee, and he passed away recently in Tamil Nadu. So moving towards the next point. So if you just observe the picture what we have here, he is Benedict Haudus. He is the German footballer who retires at the age of 32, and you have to remember German capital. So Germany capital is Berlin and currency is Euro. And moving towards the next point now. So India-Israel collaborates to develop rapid testing for the COVID-19 in under 30 seconds. So question will be like, India joins with which country to develop rapid testing for COVID-19 in under 30 seconds? And your answer should be Israel. Israel capital is Jerusalem. Currency is Israeli shekel. And now the next news. Ministry of Tribal Affairs receives Scotch Gold Award for the empowerment of tribals through IT-enabled scholarship scheme. So this is the name of the scheme you have to remember. So this award is being given for this particular scheme which was launched by Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So Scotch Gold Award is over here. Where is the headquarters or the head office of this particular Scotch? And this is in Gurgaon. Head office is in Gurgaon and the chairperson is Samir Kochhar. And the Ministry of Tribal Affairs Union Minister who is responsible for this ministry is Arjun Munda, and the Minister of State is Renuka Singh Saruta. And moving towards the next point now, £8 million worth agreement was signed between whom? India and UK. And why it is being done? It is being done for the medical research. UK's Prime Minister is Alexander Boris D. Johnson. Capital is London. Currency is pound sterling. Moving towards the next point now. Nitin Gadkari inaugurated upstream carriageway of Mahatma Gandhi Bridge in Bihar. So this is very important point. So here if you just observe, actually there was a plan to rejuvenate Mahatma Gandhi Bridge which is in Bihar. So it's over Ganga river, and this is like four lane bridge in which 2 lanes are already completed, and that was inaugurated by Nitin Gadkari. Who is Nitin Gadkari? He is the Union Minister responsible for the road transport and highways. Moving towards the next point now. So this is the name of the program you have to remember. Gramodhyog Vikas Yojana. So this is the name of the program which is launched by MSME, and why it is being launched? To benefit artisans manufacturing agarbatti. And the next news now. India withdraws from the Women's World Team Squash Championship 2020. Question will be like, which country withdrew from the Women's World Team Squash Championships 2020? Your answer should be India. And why? Because of lack of preparation, time and the match readiness of athletes. This is scheduled in Malaysia from December 15th to 20th in 2020. So India withdrew this only because of lack of preparation, time and the match readiness of athletes. Moving towards the next point now. He is Rajesh Kumar and he is now appointed as the Manipur Chief Secretary. And moving towards the next point. The government of Rajasthan approved 5% reservations to the more backward classes in the state judicial services. And the question will be like, 5% reservations to the more backward classes in the state was approved by which government? And your answer should be Rajasthan. And heading towards the next point, Andhra Pradesh CM Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy launched Cyber Crime Awareness Program. So this is the name of the program you have to remember, E-Raksha Bandhan. So this is the name of the program to create awareness among cyber crime, and this is being launched by Andhra Pradesh CM Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy. And then why it is being done? To create awareness among women, youth and children across the state about cybercrime. Moving towards the next point now. First Women Muslim Rights Day observed on August 1st, 2020. So this was the first Women Rights Day which is observed on August 1st, 2020. So it was informed by the Union Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. So this day was celebrated in India as India observed first anniversary of passage of Muslim Women Act 2019. So I think everybody are aware of this particular act, Muslim Women Act 2019, which was against the act of triple talaq. So to celebrate the first anniversary of this particular act, so this particular day is celebrated as Muslim Women's Rights Day. Moving towards the next point now. World Sanskrit Day 2020 is observed annually on August 3rd. So it was observed every year on full moon day of Hindu month Shravana. All over the world it is being celebrated on August 3rd. 3rd. So this day is celebrated as World Sanskrit Day. Moving towards the next point now. So this is the name of the biography, that is the Vishesh Code to Win. So this is the biography of India's youngest basketball captain, Vishesh Bhriguvamshi. So he is the youngest basketball captain of India, and this is the biography. You have to remember, Vishesh Code to Win, and this has been authored by whom? Nirupama Yadav, and this is set to release. This is very important, you have to remember. Moving towards the next point now. Bihar CM Nitish Kumar released a book titled Siyasat Mein Sadasyata. So this is authored by State Assembly Speaker Vijay Kumar Chaudhary, and here you have to remember the name of the book and the author of this particular book. So here it is been authored by or it is penned by the State Assembly Speaker Vijay Kumar Chaudhary. Moving towards the next point now. If you just observe the picture what we have here, she is Kamal Rani Varun. Actually, she was serving as the Minister of Technical Education in the Uttar Pradesh, and she died recently. Moving towards the next point now. Former Samajwadi Party leader and Rajya Sabha MP Amar Singh died. He is the person, and his name is Amar Singh, who was serving as he was a former Samajwadi Party leader, and he was also the Rajya Sabha MP, and he died recently. Moving towards the next point. So here we have a very good news for all IPL lovers. So central government gave nod to IPL 2020, that is the Indian Premier League 2020 in UAE from September 19th to November 10, 2020. And you have to remember, it's like government gave note to play this in UAE, and the date you have to remember from September 19 to November 10, 2020. And moving towards the next point now. So he is Mercedes Lewis Hamilton won British Grand Prix 2020, and he created a record by winning the title for the 7th time. This point you have to remember. He has been winning this particular title for which time? 7th time, and the award name British Grand Prix 2020. Moving towards the next point now. UNICEF and ADB, that is the Asian Development Bank, funds for the thermal screening at Rajiv Gandhi International Airport. So this is a scanner which detects the person who is having fever or who is showing the symptoms of fever, and also for the persons with the high skin temperature. Moving towards the next point now. He is Mohammad Irfan Ali, and he becomes the president of Guyana. Guyana capital is Georgetown. Currency is Guyanese dollar. The name of the person and the country name is very important over here. Moving towards the next point. Just observe the picture what we have here. He is Pradeep Shah. Who is Pradeep Shah? He is the chairman of Indasia Fund Advisors Private Limited, and he heads the panel. It's the expert committee panel which was set up by IFSCA. What is the full form of IFSCA? It is the International Finance Service Centers Authority, and why it is being suggested for the ways to develop of international retail business. So if you just observe, IFSCA sets up an expert panel which is headed by Pradeep Shah to suggest the ways to develop of international retail business. Moving towards the next point now. BOB. What is the full form of BOB? That is the Bank of Baroda Financial Solutions partnered with Innoviti Payment to launch the new credit card EMI offering on POS terminal. Actually, we have already seen one more news regarding this BOB Financial Solutions, and that is BOB Financial Services Limited has chosen FinServe. Actually, the news was BOB selected FinServe to enable the digitization of card issuance and the support of launching the new contactless credit card. And here BOB Financial Solutions partnered with Innoviti Payment, and why this is being done? To launch the new credit card EMI offering on POS terminal. Moving towards the next point now. So if you just observe the picture what we have here, he is Harshavardhan. Who is Harshavardhan? He is the Union Minister who is responsible for HRD, that is the Human Resource Development, which is now called as the Ministry of Education. And he launches Vidyarthi Vigyan Mandan 2020 to 2021 for popularizing pure science among school students of class 6 to class 11th. Moving towards the next point now. So here if you observe 4th edition of Smart India Hackathon 2020, the edition name is, which edition is very important, and this is the 4th edition of Smart India Hackathon 2020, and this is the largest ever online hackathon in the world, which is launched by Ramesh Pokhriyal. So this is very important. It's been launched by whom? It is been launched by Ramesh Pokhriyal, and PM Narendra Modi addressed this grand finale. So this is the 4th edition Smart India Hackathon 2020. Moving towards the next point now. So Axis Bank unveils EXAA, that is AXA. So this is a very important point you have to remember. This is an AI powered, that is the artificial intelligence powered conversational banking, IVR. What is IVR? IVR is the interactive voice response. And here you have to remember Axis Bank headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and MD and CEO is Amitabh Chaudhary. Amitabh Chaudhary. Moving towards the next point now. Two-day international webinar on Lokmanya Tilak Swaraj to Self-Reliant India organized by ICCR. So this is the 2-day long webinar. Amit Shah inaugurated this, and this has been organized by ICCR. What is ICCR? Indian Council for the Cultural Relatives. Moving towards the next point now. DNHDD. What is DNHDD? It is the Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. So this launched eGyan Mitra mobile application. So this is the name of the mobile app. This is for the online education, which is launched by DNHDD. So this particular app name is very important, and why it is being done, or why it is being launched? To support students of Union Territories of DNH and DD through online education. Moving towards the next point now. So here Andhra Pradesh government signed MOU with Hindustan Unilever Ltd and PNG and ITC to support economic empowerment of women. And your question will be something like, Andhra Pradesh government signed MOU with the dash to support economic empowerment of women. So here you have to remember 3 companies name, that is Hindustan Unilever Limited, PNG and ITC. Moving towards the next now. He is Ram D. Pradhan. So he is the Padma Bhushan awardee, and he is former Arunachal Pradesh governor and who passed away recently. So the name of the person is very important over here. And here if you observe in this particular picture, he is John Hume, and he is the Nobel Peace Prize winner, and he passed away recently. And the next point now. So this is UV baggage bath. So what we are seeing in this particular picture, this is a UV baggage bath, and this is being named for the COVID prevention kiosk. So this has been inaugurated at Bangalore railway station. And why it is being inaugurated? To disinfect the baggage, to stop the indirect mode of transmissions of COVID-19 viruses from bats to human beings. Moving towards the next point now. So it is the name of the robot, and the name of the robot is Rakshak. So this is the name of the robot. This is the health assistant robot designed by the Mumbai division of Central Railway. So why this has been done? It communicates between doctor and the patient remotely. Moving towards the next point now. IIT Madras with Helixon developed the first of its kind remote patient monitoring solution for COVID-19. And if you just observe the picture what we have here, this is the first remote patient monitoring solution which is developed by IIT Madras along with Helixon. And it is developed to remote the patient to monitor themselves for the COVID-19. It is the low cost, simple and easy to use anywhere at the hospital or in the home. Moving towards the next point now. He is Mr. Shashidhar Jagadishan, and RBI approved this particular person as next MD and CEO of HDFC Bank, and he will succeed Aditya Puri. So till now Aditya Puri was serving as the MD and CEO of HDFC Bank, right? But now RBI approved Shashidhar Jagadishan. This is the person, if you just observe the picture, he will be serving as the next MD and CEO of HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank headquarters is in Mumbai. Chairperson is Deepak S. Parekh. Tagline is very important. We understand your world. Moving towards the next point now. So he is a Sunil YDVSS. So he received the Karmavir Chakra of United Nations and Icongo at Rex Conclave. So he is the founder and the CEO of SS Motivation Channel. So this particular thing you have to remember. Who is Sunil YDVSS? He is the founder and the CEO of SS Motivation Channel, which is on Telegram app. And why this has been, and why he was awarded with this particular award. So this is for his contribution to the society through SS Motivation. Moving towards the next point now. MOD, that is the Minister of Defense, releases Draft Defense Production and Export Promotion Policy 2020 aimed at $5 billion export by 2025. And the next point now. For the first time in India, Railways uses MTC machine for the track construction. So this is implemented by DF CCIL. So this is very important point. So this is implemented by whom? DFCCIL. What is the full form of this? Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited. Moving towards the next now. Canara Bank partnered with the 3 insurers to provide individual short-term Corona Kavach policy. To provide this individual short-term Corona Kavach policy, Canara Bank partnered with 3 insurers. What are the 3 insurers? New India Assurance Company Limited, Bajaj Allianz, and HDFC Ergo. And here if you just observe, Canara Bank headquarters is in Bangalore. MD and CEO is LV Prabhakar. Tagline is Together We Can. Moving towards the next now. National Bank of Bahrain selects Infosys Finacle to digitally transform its transaction banking business. And your question will be like NBB, that is the National Bank of Bahrain, selects which company to digitally transform its transaction banking business? And your answer should be Infosys Finacle. So NBB, that is the National Bank of Bahrain, headquarters is in Manama, Bahrain. CEO is Jean-Christophe Durand. Moving towards the next point now. World Cup winner. So he is the World Cup winner, and if you just observe in this particular picture, he is Benedict Howdes, and he retires from the saucer. Moving towards the next point now. MSME Minister launches Khadi's gift box of silk mask. Here question will be like, Khadi's gift box of silk mask is launched by whom? And your answer should be MSME Minister. So this gift box is developed by KVIC. What is KVIC? Khadi and Village Industries Commission. And this gift box consists of 4 handcraft silk masks in different colors and in different prints. Heading towards the next news now. UAE becomes the first Arab nation to open a nuclear power plant. So this is a very important news. UAE will become a first Arab nation to open a nuclear power plant. So UAE, capital is Abu Dhabi. Currency is UAE dirham. And the president is Sheikh Khalifa bin. Moving towards the next news now, and this is the last news for this particular week. So this is the NASA and ULA launched Mars 2020 Perseverance rover mission. So the name of the mission you have to remember. So they launched Mars 2020 Perseverance rover mission. So this has been launched by whom? NASA and ULA. ULA is United Launch Alliance. So this particular full form you have to remember. NASA headquarters is in Washington DC, US, and administrator is Jim Bridenstine. It was launched to the red planet Mars. This is a very important point you have to remember. So we are done with our today's session. So in this particular session we discussed very important current affairs of first week of August month. In my next session I will come up with the next week of current affairs. If you are liking the session, please like and share with your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube and Telegram channel. Thank you and have a good day.